Indeed, greetings upon you, beloved and holy friends. Thank you so much for joining me again on another live, another video, another day, another experience that we get to share with one another. Hot diggity damn. Like, I think this is the first time you've seen me like this. Hair is tied up. Because, and get this, I want to say I over meditated, but it would be a lie. I overslept. I usually take like a 20-minute nap before I get ready for these streams. And in this like nap, I usually like do some breathwork exercises. I take myself through some like mindset loops before I fall asleep usually. And I was supposed to like take a 20-minute nap or whatever you call that. And I got to the what I felt was the end of it, and I was like, damn, has felt like very restful, very very good, if you will. And it feels like it had been longer than 20 minutes. And when I said that to myself, like, it feels like it's been longer than 20 minutes. Like, I realized what time was again, and I was like, what? It's time. It's time, dude. Yeah, so here we are. Here we are. First, hey, sure, mate. It's nice to have you here, friend. Thank you for joining us. Second, hello, mate. Hello to you as well, my friend. Thank you for joining us again today. How are you feeling, man? How are you feeling? How are you doing? Good morning, Nestian and Naomi, and hey, Lisa. I need some calming energy after my cleaning fiasco. Oh, goodness. Like, I was just talking about how I feel like I almost fell into stream today. Like, I literally woke up 6 minutes ago, it feels like. Is it 6 minutes ago? I think so. Wake up, look at the alarm. I'm already past the time that I usually start streaming. Like, and then there was a point where I was trying to rationalize with myself. Because what happened is usually when I take my nap, I have my main phone next to me. But my main phone was on charge and my streaming phone has been fully charged. So I took my streaming phone with me to use as an alarm, and then I didn't set it. So I was like, zoinked out. It didn't wake me, but I'm happy to be here. We're going to calm down and be completely and serially present for this experience. And as we become completely and serially present for this experience, I do want to say something worth saying. This is going to be a heavy one again. My book got wet, it seems. Extra flavor. We are ceaselessly teaching the world what we believe hold the greatest value. We are ceaselessly teaching the world what we believe holds the greatest value. We are ceaselessly teaching the world. Man. That means to me, or at least confirms to me, what it is we're trying to do with these streams, with the coming together, with the ceaselessly telling of the world what it is we believe is valuable. Because the more and more we show up in the space, the more and more we love one another in the way that we are loving one another, the more and more we can know in the event that we need help, in the event that we need someone to be there for us if we're reaching out, there will be. Technically, we are teaching the world right now that love and the showing up in love is what we find valuable. Something that I find particularly valuable. Something that's completely changed my life. And it's so interesting to me how things can consciously and constantly just change your life completely. And I'm saying consciously as well, because at the end of the day, this is something we're choosing to do, We're consciously choosing what we're trying to teach the world. You know the reason this really like resonates with me right now is because I have this mindset that there could be potentially eyes everywhere. Eyes everywhere watching me right now in this moment. And if you don't want to go as far as eyes, you can just say inputs. Like this tree has a bunch of nerve ending inputs, and the grass that I'm sitting on has a bunch of nerve ending inputs. And if anything, like the rocks around me could have viruses or bacteria on it. So technically, also things that would receive stimuli, that would receive input. So no matter how you slice it, there are things in your immediate environment that are aware of you in some form or fashion as well. And that awareness I associate with eyes. So by coming to this realization, or coming to this thing worth saying, and saying that what we choose to teach the world is what we say is valuable, I believe is basically like teaching a toddler, with our actions, showing this toddler how we do things, and then as a result of this toddler witnessing us, they start to copy the things that we do. So if we genuinely can continue living in the way that we do, we can build each other up, we can create a society in which people are genuinely heard and genuinely feel like they belong. That's going to be what the world, like, I'm wondering now as well, like, is there a symbiotic relationship between what you try and choose the world what you try and choose the world what you try and teach the world, and what the world chooses to teach you? I think there might be a pretty cool correlation to come to realize just how much power it would have on you. Things you choose to teach the world influence what the world feels you're ready to be taught as well. Kiki is still messing with the old dog. He doesn't particularly enjoy it, but she's such a sweetheart. I'm sure she'll show up in a bit. Goeiemiddag Simon. Dankie dat jy vandag hier so saam met my op stream is. Ek waardeer regtig jou aangesig. Weet ek is lief vir jou, my vriend. Weet ek is lief vir jou. Estien's got the ladies today in the house. It seems that way. You're right, Lisa. And Simon. Ladies plus Simon. The potatoes have extra flavor now too. Spilled a bunch of milk all over my floor. I was trying to clean, and it got all over my paper bag. Over my paper bag of potatoes. My potatoes. Oh, I don't know why, but for some reason, like, my brain automatically edited in potato chips with extra flavor, and I just imagined milk on potato chips, and them kind of being soggy, and I was like, Naomi, you're a hardcore person for still eating them. But the potatoes being milk flavored, I think I would still be able to do. For some reason, when I think of milk and potatoes, I think of mashed potatoes. Like, those two go pretty well together, right? I don't want to influence the world at all. Well, I don't want to influence people by my words, at least. Okay, that's an interesting choice, because you already are at the end of the day, Simon. Like, I feel even though you want to choose not to, you don't want to influence the world at all, you don't really have a choice, my dude. Like, that's unfortunately one of these things, as same as you can't choose in being a creator, you can't choose whether or not your words are going to influence people. Because at the end of the day, the reason you are talking about your condition on stream as well is to, in a way, influence people so they understand why it is you're doing what it is you're doing. You're also, in the same way, giving other people that have conditions, what's the word I'm looking for? The right to do the same, and that in itself is going to be you influencing the world, dude. No matter how you slice it, even if you don't want to influence the world, you're still going to influence the world. And knowing that no matter what we choose, even if we choose to influence the world horribly, even if we choose to do nothing, not say a single word, or even if we choose to say all of the words that can influence the world in the best of ways, you're still going to be using the same source to do all of those things. It's inescapable. Can't have it any other way. Maybe you should be haunting potatoes. Hey Candace, thank you for joining us, friend. Your hair is up. Looks good, Marty. It is up, friend. Up, and it has all of the extra fluffies. It's going to probably get lit up by the setting sun behind me. Man, I feel I feel so surreal right now because I basically came and sat down to stream directly after a nap, which I feel like I definitely was super deep into that theta wave. And I feel like I'm now only emerging out of that theta wave, like I'm becoming awake a little bit. Nate, it's nice to have you here, though, friend. Yeah, but I actively choose to not influence. Then I have no responsibility if people are affected by me. Easier on my mental state. I can imagine that as well. I can imagine that. Because at the end of the day, trying to calculate, trying to in a logical way figure out how the things that you've chosen to say is going to influence people, and then how that influence is going to turn out into the world is very taxing mentally. It's not something that I think you should be doing. If you are doing that, to like, oh, I say this thing, this person hears this thing, this person goes up and does thing, like in the same way, like I will say I don't know anything and don't listen to me or don't believe me, I think maybe I'm getting at the same thing that you're getting at with your choosing not to influence or not taking any responsibility. But, but I do take responsibility for the things I say. I just believe that I'm going to say things into this world that might or might not influence you. At the end of the day, my intention is to bring forward something that might influence you in a positive way. So how you receive that, what I'm trying to put out, I believe as a positive influence, and how you receive that and how you take that and how you implement that into your life, I believe is going to be your divine choice. And for me to, get into my mental state because of what I've said, because of what other people are going to choose to do with the things that I've said, I don't have I don't have time to think that much, unfortunately. I already do too much of that. What is it an intention for drinking this water today? Calm. Yeah. Yeah, I need some calm today. But I feel influence is like right up the forefront of my brain, dude. Right, like it's like in front of my third eye. You know what? Influence it is, dude. Mm. Or I can influence myself to be calm. A calming influence. This water is going to be a calming influence on me. Mm, that's really nice. Are you familiar with dialectical materialism? I'm not, actually. Do you mind typing a definition or like doing a Google search of the definition for me? Dialectical materialism. Kind of sounds nice to say though. Geese in a bot. Hey Kristen, thank you so much for joining us, my friend. Mm. Kristen sent a photo yesterday of her and her beloved. He came and visited her, surprisingly. Now they get to spend some time together. Like, that actually made me think about a lot of things, Kristen. I went into this mental space where I was comparing my own way of doing things, if you will. Like, interestingly enough, I don't think I do surprises. Not not as a personality trait or as a quirk. That is something that I do. And it's something that kind of like, upon realizing that, upon reading your message and realizing that I don't really do surprises, I usually am of the mindset of like, I tell someone weeks in advance that I'm coming, and then on my way there, I make sure they know I'm safe when I'm leaving and give them updates or whatever, or get there and then be like, oh, yeah, here we are. But being able to surprise someone like that, like going home, for example, or going to someone's house, showing up, man, It's really making, like, it influences me at the end of the day, right? This at the end of the day is something that influences me. So, like, that's a perfect example as well, Simon, because I can guarantee you Kristen didn't send that message with the intention of influencing me with my way of thinking, right? Influencing me in my understanding of how I view surprises in my own life, or how I have never had this intention to go about surprising. And yet, even though she was sharing this message of like, look how great this is, right? And I was like, that is absolutely great, and I was celebrating with her. That still made me think like, huh, that's curious. And that wasn't her intention, but that is still something that happens, right? And for Kristen to be like mentally processing what could potentially happen for every single person that could like possibly see her message and imagine all of the possibilities in which it could influence someone wouldn't be realistic, or what's the other word I'm looking for? Is a good one. Realistic or appropriate? Is it appropriate? Yeah, I think appropriate's good. Mm-mm-mm. It's a way of understanding reality, whether thoughts, emotions, or the material world. Dialectic materialism. It's a way of understanding reality, whether thoughts, emotions, or the material world. I think that's exactly what we're doing in that case. I don't know if there's a word for that. Dialectic materialism. I don't necessarily appreciate the word materialism because there's a bunch of negative connotation to it. At the end of the day, I also, in the same breath that I think this might be dialectic materialism, I also believe in the notion that attachment is suffering, and materialism in its own is basically this want to be attached to physical things in your physical world. Man, like every single time I think of this analogy, we used it yesterday again in podcast. Like imagine being invited to a buffet, all the food you could ever eat in your entire life. And as soon as you finish eating something, a new one pops into existence where you took the previous one. And still, there are people on this table, like stuffing their pockets, stuffing their pockets, and like hiding in the bathroom and eating the things that they've stuffed in their pockets, and like putting it in their jackets and hiding the food that they have. And like I've said that before on stream, and then Christian said something yesterday, which I didn't even consider, and he was like, and then you see that and you start to panic and you start to do that as well, right? Like you see this world and it's like manic state of like materialism, trying to get the newest thing, trying to get the newest car, the best house, the this, the that, enter material thing here. And it's this it's this stuffing of pockets, you know. You have a plate full of food, you have a table full of food, and yet you can't be happy just being there and enjoying the meal. We basically settled on the idea, or the conclusion that it's because of our tribal nature, maybe some of the old remnants of our past, as like monkey people, if you will, where we still had to kind of defend ourselves. We still had to make sure that there weren't other creatures in our immediate environment, because if they were, they would eat our food. But we have solved our food problem, tenfold over. We solved our housing crisis. South Africa is wrecked right now, though. You know, because in the same breath, like as I'm saying about this buffet that we're all invited to, like this buffet to me is like the universe, this abundant universe that we get born into, and trying to put as much of this universe into your pockets and then dying with it in your pockets, becoming part of the universe again. It doesn't make sense. It really doesn't make sense at the end of the day. But at the same time, our country has an unemployment rate of 32.6%. So basically a third. A third of our entire country does not have work, can't pay for their rent, can't pay for food. A third. That's bonkers. 15 million people are without work. It's unacceptable, because in the same breath, like the reason we were talking about this, the whole infinite buffet thing in the first place, is because we're talking about our country and how they were like looting all of the funds that were supposed to help our country. It was supposed to lean towards the joblessness numbers, was supposed to help restaurant owners, was supposed to help small businesses, and it's just gone. And I think that is the part that's horrifying right now. It's because there's like 15 million people that didn't get invited or that aren't at this infinite dinner table, and there are like seven. Okay, maybe not seven, maybe like 70 people. There's probably like 70 people that was like doing most of the stealing of that money. Like there's 70 people in that room literally just like scarfing down as much as they possibly can. They're literally like killing themselves. Like, that episode of Rick and Morty where the dude could just continue eating but couldn't die because of that like reality field? Like you might like that. That's what's happening to all of them while people are starving outside. Mm. Man, I don't want to talk about this shit. Mm-mm-mm. Hello, friends. There we go. I take responsibility for all that happens, good or bad. I sometimes wonder why I wanted a certain event to happen that was tragic, etc. But it was necessary for me to experience for some reason, so I may learn from it or use it in the near or far future. I do respect that as well, actually, Candace, because and it's that that knowing, that understanding that the good and the bad kind of creates this spectrum of information which we are going to at the end of the day need to deal with the spectrum of emotional spectrum of happening that's going to be presented to us in our futures. Everything happens for a reason, everything happens for a reason. Are you high right now? Also hello and good morning. Hey, saving put. Not just yet. I did eat an edible just before I came and sat down, but I mean it's gonna take like 40 minutes to kick in. I might be placebo affecting myself. I took that edible with the intention of divine information. Ooh, and every single time I pick an intention like that, it kind of kicks my ass, but here we are. Goodness, you make me smile, my friend. This surprise trip hasn't gone as I thought. Another lesson trying not to have expectations. Like having a mature hope instead of having immature hope, where immature hope is this hope that something happens in this exact way, right? You form this idealistic, basically, convergence point. And if this convergence point isn't met, then all of this wasn't, worth nothing for basically. Where it kind of goes into the opposite way when it comes to mature hope, where you are that convergence point and you see this spectrum of happening as, what you hope for to happen. That just something happens instead of that something happens. Thank you for sharing that with me, friend. I really do appreciate that. It's the materialism in the way we commonly use. Not okay. It's not materialism. I understand, friend. Like I was just feeling within myself what those words mean, right? Dialectic materialism, because I enjoy how they sound, but I'm not the type of person that likes to label things in the first place. Yeah, I never take any actions or say anything that I'd be ashamed of telling everyone. Gotta be confident in your own decisions and choices. Yeah, I agree completely with that, Simon. Hey, Gob, good evening, Melton friends. It's nice to have you here, my friend. The materialism in dialect materialism refers to tangible, measurable reality. Okay. Thank you again for letting me know that, friend, because now you are broadening my perspective again. Tangible. Because technically what we're doing here is kind of tangible, right? We're sitting down every day and we're spending time in this way to try and get to some sort of, at least in my opinion, some mental understanding of whatever it is we're setting intentions for, or whatever message it is we're trying to explore, or whatever things you friends choose to co-create with me. So yeah, it definitely is tangible. Thank you, friend. Mm, yes, I do. I'm about to shower, shave, and get all pretty for a painting stream. Oh, I hope I can catch this one this time, Gob. Like, I think usually you stream when it's like late at night for me. How's it? Here before front page. Thank you for joining me, friend. We don't go front page every day. Like, I feel the front page is definitely something that is like a cherry on top of a big eaten cake, you know. Like we'll eat cake every single day and it's delicious, and then sometimes the little cherry will be like, oh look, yummy, front page cherry. But that's as much as it goes, dude. Like it's not something that we like, strive for. Like hit that upvote button, spam 50 billion comments right now. Like it helps, it helps. But I enjoy being a little bit more calm with you, friends. I feel I lose track. Like I'm usually 20 minutes behind if we hit front page instantly. Just cuddling with the doggies for now. You have two dogs, right, Gob? I think so. Mm. Interesting to me though, and I'm curious about this as well. Like big dogs is never something we ever had. We always had like Jack Russells, so dogs about yay big, and you have like some big uns. Would you go back to having smaller dogs, or do you now as well feel more attached to having big dogs? Because in my egoic consciousness, I feel I would like to have smaller dogs just because of the scale difference and them being on my lap, them jumping on my bed. Da, 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 da. I don't like putting all of these things into my little neat boxes in my head. Frick boxes. Damn it. No boxes. Anyway, so like did you have smaller dogs before? I'm curious about all of these things, and thank you for the all seeing upvote. Oh, Space Rock's formality. Yes, Simon, she is. Fickle and Anthem is Finkel. Finkel is Einthorn. Einthorn is Finkel. Fickle? I don't know what that means. The universe is just a numbers game. It's a lottery that we may or may not win. So, yeah. I mean, I think we already won the lottery, Magopo. That's what I believe, actually. Because if you understand the probability, if you just look at the scale of our universe, if you understand the probability for there to be life on this planet and for it to be in the way that it is, where we get to experience stuff so surreally, we've very much already won the lottery. This experience that we're having right now is like stonks, ultra stonks. If you were born into an able body, have all of your senses, have all of your limbs, even more stonks, right? Like, yeah, I think we already have won this lottery because I don't necessarily enjoy the concept of the lottery because it's this hope selling machine that basically steals from a lot of people in need and then gives to one person. And I know people are happily, contributing to that. But again, it's them getting sold as hope. Because this interesting thing that I was feeling when you said it's a lottery, I wanted to say initially that, well, if you don't play the lottery, you're not going to win. And then I chose to say what I chose instead because I feel just saying that, I don't want you to play the actual lottery. But in if life is a lottery, you still have to kind of play, right? And the nice thing about this life as well is there's so many possibilities, right? I can be a doctor, I can be an engineer, I can be a Buddhist monk. And those three different career choices are so vastly different in life experience, job experience, the people that you're going to communicate with, the environments that you're going to be in. And none of them you can say is like more valuable or less valuable than any other one of those because it's still going to be a divine experience. in my opinion. So I genuinely believe that even if you choose to play the lottery in a pursuit of meditation, right, you literally devote your entire life just to meditation, and you sit in one spot for 18 hours a day. You you get up and you go and eat something, and you'll sleep on like your back just to rest your back muscles, and then you go back 18 hours meditation. Like don't I don't think I can do that. Unfortunately, that is not the experience that was willed for me into this life. But would that be an awesome experience? I do believe so. Imagine what mental stability, what mental clarity, what self control you will muster if you can meditate for 18 hours a day. Hot diggity damn. I do believe that you would probably be like a complete psychonaut with your own naturally produced hormones, substances, chemicals, enter word here. I genuinely believe you would literally not be in your body for most of your meditations. And that would be sick, right? That would be the coolest experience that I can imagine. One of the coolest experiences that I can imagine right now. Being able to, in your mind's eye, fly to different reality scapes because you can literally generate these mental images inside of yourself in your composed meditative state. Instead of having your eyes open and having this world happen to you, you have your eyes closed and have your own world happen to you. And that could be seen as technically you playing some sort of lottery, right? You're playing the lottery of meditating and seeing what happens, seeing if you can win some sort of prize out of this meditation. And I think you can win any prize out of anything, is the thing. No matter what you choose to do, what direction you choose to go into, it's still going to be a win, because this life is a win at the end of the day. What if I told you you could access spiritual relationships in an instant without taking drugs ever? I would believe you, friend. That's basically how I have developed the most of the spiritual relationship I have right now. At least my body is only 23 years old, friend. I've lived a long time. You don't need substances to access any spirituality inside of yourself. If anything, it can be a tool to go into those spaces. Weird workaholics episode, the weirdest, friend. Alt reality workaholics episode. Can you show us the Rainbow Bridge? Is that a Thor reference? Maybe after stream, friend. Like if you stick about all stream and you ask me again at the end of it, maybe I'll tell you no still. It is true, my husband does it with breathing meditation. There we go. Like I didn't even mention the fact that I do that as well, Viking Queen, but that is it. That is literally it. Like I've been, and man, this is gonna sound super yikes. What are you scared of, Meltmore? We're vulnerable here, right? I've been more high with breathwork exercises than I've ever been using any external substance, just with breathwork. And like it's been so surreal for me that I am more intimidated by my own breathwork exercises than I am of taking substances. Uh, I mean, if that doesn't say a lot to you, then I don't know what will. We are super powerful beings when it comes to the perception of our experience. Just changing the way that you breathe can completely change your state of mind. Hey Hades, it's nice to see you, my friend. But communication with the God of all creation is accessible not through meditation, but through the Word and Son Jesus. I know that is a big belief system, or at least the only belief system in the Christian understanding of God. I don't believe that God is conditional. There's no you have to do thing before you're allowed to have the presence of God. No. If God wasn't constantly ever present here right now, he, it, she, they, however you want to identify, which is not let us be. We would literally cease to be if God ever ceased loving us, right? That's what I believe. I don't believe you have to accept Jesus, the Son of God, or God Himself, because technically it's not His Son, it's Him, right? That's yeah, yeah. I believe we are already loved, already forgiven, already on a path to a better world. There's nothing we need to do other than be here now. I'm sorry. It's like from Ace Ventura, Pet Detective. I'm not exactly sure what you mean by that, Kristen. I'm too tall to have a little dog. I don't see it. It wouldn't survive me stepping or tripping on it. Oh, but Gopo. I didn't know you were tall. How tall is tall for you? Do you know how tall you are in centimeters? Because like basically the only height I know is like 6 feet. Because that's like 182, basically, right? Centimeters. How tall are you, Magopa? Not that it's a judgment at the end of the day. These dudes, they were like all the way over there, and they were on that tree, and they were on that tree, and now they're like basically right above me. These birds are called katlachters. Oh, they're loud. They're deafeningly loud. Hey! 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 What was Skriela? What are you screaming about? What are you screaming about? Because they're doing like this little bit of a dance almost, where they're like jumping from branch to branch, screaming at each other. Yeah. I'm pretty sure they're being spiteful, or they're screaming at those birds there, because there's two posses. Okay, now 2 of them moved to that tree. Okay, so there's 4 in that tree, there's 2 in that tree, and there's like 6 in this tree. Okay, one of those joined here now. Let me show you, I guess. Let me show you. Oh, look at these dudes. There's like a bunch there. I think there's one there. Just screaming at the top of their lungs. They don't want me to be hurt. They don't want me to be hurt. Top secret informations. Is that level? It is now. I missed a bunch, I think. I agree about winning the lottery, but no loser to this lottery is able to perceive it. So it's a kind of strange lottery. Yeah, it's like a lottery that you allow yourself to win almost. You realize you've already won it at some point in your life. And if you can keep that realization, it's difficult sometimes. But if you can keep that realization, I can scream as well. They listened to me. They did listen for like a second, but I'm not gonna continue screaming indefinitely. I want to melt more. Me too, friend. We are right now. Just become aware of your breath. Melting more right now. Hey Lane, it's nice to have you here. Lamar, G-Unit. That's hilarious, friend. Hey East Coast Rabbit, thank you for joining us. I absolutely agree. God is omnipresent and wants a relationship with us. But Jesus is both God in the flesh and the Son. Yes. I know about that, friend. I know about that. I grew up as a Christian. Dad is still ultra Christian. You know, every conversation we have is him trying to convert me. And he has this toolkit that he uses to convert me these days, where he asks me, like, have I ever lied in my life? Have I ever stolen something in my life? Have I ever thought murderous thoughts? Have I ever looked at a woman lustfully? Have I ever used a God's name in vain? Right? He will ask me these questions, and to all of them, you can like answer, yeah, I've done these things, right? And then he's like, oh, so by your own definition, he'll say to me, dudes, please, dudes, please, I need some silence, dudes. You can scream there's more of them flying here. Oh, you know what? Anyway, so he's like, you're a murderous, adulterating, blaspheming, stealing, thieving, what's the other one? You know the point I'm trying to make. And because of this, I am already, by my own definition, judged, and I have sinned against God. Kiki has joined me. So in this sinning against God, I have to have someone that's going to step in for me, which is Jesus, right? That's going to be how I'm going to be saved. But I have to give my life to Jesus in order to have that done. Otherwise, I won't get freed in this scenario that my dad created. I don't believe that God is the creator of everything, and then also at the same time in judgment of his own creation. It doesn't make sense to me. Like my dad will say, oh, that's not a just God. But I mean, a just God would be a God that loves everything unconditionally. What unconditionally actually means. I'm 6 foot. There we go. That's not too tall. That's not too tall at all. Because like if you're like 7'5", like 2 meters tall, that to me is like, oh goodness. Because I think then me and you would be about the same length. What dogs do you have? I think I know actually. I keep forgetting what it looks like though. Why do I keep forgetting what your dog looks like? I love the laughing birds. I love them as well. I won't try and kill them. They're just so damn loud. Oh man, and they have stamina. They can like go. My brother is like laughing at me, watching me try and shout out with the camera because of these birds. He's like with this big smirk on his face. Oh my goodness, I love the birds. I have their say, yeah. I mean, I can't stop them. I love being able to hear you ramble on and on. Highlight of my day. Keep it up, friend. Thank you so much. Love and light to you. Thank you for joining us as always. Smile. They went on Reddit. Yeah, they're like, what is that dude doing? Oh, he has a window into like the internet. Oh shit. Let us make ourselves known. Scream at the top of your lungs, boys. And everyone's like, yeah. I'm not winning. I'm just straight up not winning today. They're in this tree behind me now, I think. Little spicy dudes. I wish I could see them. You did. I don't know if you saw them that wonderfully or with much information, but you got to see them at least. Just living their best life. Yeah, fortunately, we are all just living our best lives. I love those burps so much. It's ridiculous. They're co-creating. Literally, quite literally, this, again, is a co-creation. Because if I wasn't sitting here and talking, I'd probably be inside doing something else. I wouldn't be bothered by the screaming birds because I'd be like, oh, birds are screaming again. And I'd just be like, not experiencing this. But now you friends are hearing this. We're like feeling this energy that these birds are like projecting out into the universe together. As abrasive as it might be, it's like, it feels like there's a grater being taken to the back of my brain. But it's a co-created experience and I love it as well. Oh, little yuppie. Can you show us the loud birds you've been showing? Looks level here, sun over our shoulder. Sweet effect. That is actually. Thank you for joining me, East Coast Rabbit. I'm happy you friends find this amusing. I'm very happy. Gabe, I can hear them getting closer. There's like a bunch of them in just like top branches now. Nancy, thank you for being here, friend. Hope all is very well. Everything is. Brother, how goes it? Jamar, it's going well, friend. Thank you for joining us. Carmelia is here as well. Evident Shrooms. Yes. Carmelia, thank you for joining us. How are you doing, friend? I think they might be a little bit spiteful now. I think they might actually be just a little bit spiteful, and I love it so much because I feel like there is this thing happening almost, like they're doing it on purpose. Oh, it's comical. Freaking katlachter. So yeah, katlachter quite literally translates into bird that, or just katlachter. The direct translation is cat laughers, like the things that laugh at cats. That's why. I think they'll do that. It might be mating season actually, but it's still winter is the thing. Like I don't think they're supposed to be. Maybe. I mean, here they are. There's literally so much farm around me. So much farm, so many trees, and I have all of the trees where 20 birds have to come down. It's the trees directly behind me and next to me. I love it. Like, what are the chances of us actually experiencing something like this? Bad. What a trip. He does love everything, but sin is to separate yourself from God. When you consider choosing sin over God and then deny Him, it shows hell is a place where you are outside of God's presence. I do actually agree with basically everything you said, Tom. But I do believe it's a choice. I'm choosing right now not to live from a place of sin, but to live in a place of love for God and of forgiveness of myself. And because I'm living in that place, I believe that the God's presence, the heaven, the next whatever comes after death is going to be good, because this is the life I'm choosing, to lead. Fell way behind, burned out days ago, and I don't know. I understand, Carmelia. I mean, you'll get some time to rest as soon as you're at your grandma's place, friend. Take solace in that at least. Is that a bird on you? I feel like it's just them having fattest of chats, They're like coming together, haven't seen each other in a long time, and they stand face to face and they scream the same thing at each other over and over again. Yes, bird energy connections. Yes, absolutely. Space rocker burp. Does anyone recall the name of these chatty burps? Katlachter. I'll type it in chat for you. Kat. That's the way we spell it in Afrikaans. Katlachters. I missed what you said about meditating all day. I'm not surprised. Reasonable detail. We were talking about how if you spend your whole day meditating, you could potentially win the lottery when it comes to the most intense or divine of experience that you could have if you do that. I almost stopped talking, and then they came back. They were like, "Oh wait, this dude's talking again." They wouldn't taunt you, bro, like this. Like, I'm not thinking they're taunting me. I'm just happy about the coincidence that they're sitting in these exact trees instead of sitting anywhere else on the entire farm, Because there's a bunch of space where there's no humans close. We have cats here as well, we have dogs here. So technically this would be not the greatest environment for them when it just comes to safety, and yet they're still choosing to be here, so I'm grateful for that. Okay, thanks, Mel. I need to Google a close app these wicked awesome birds. There you have the spelling now as well, friend. Like, I think you would be able to find them. They have these kind of like brownish chests with these little spots on them. Yeah, they're nice birds. We do protect them as well. My favorite South African fan. I watch you stream. Thank you for joining us again, friends. Nice to have you here. Did you know that when you walk into a cloud of gnats flying around, you're stumbling into a gnat orgy? No, Fred, I didn't know that. What are gnats exactly? And I've never stumbled into gnats flying around either. Wouldn't that be something you would not want to stumble into? Like, even just for the sake of them being bugs. Like, not even the fact that they're in an orgy. We need Jesus too, though. Our good deeds are filthy rags to God without Jesus. That's what the Apostle Paul said. I hear you, friend. I hear you. In my personal opinion, I don't want to say this, but I do want to say this. But I don't want to say this because I know it's gonna make you angry, but it's the way I feel. But it's not a nice thing to say, even if it is the way I feel. But I still believe it. I think the Apostle Paul was a little bit full of shit, dude, by saying something like that. You want to tell me that God looks at you living lovingly, loving your wife and kids, loving your friends and family members, bringing into the world, an experience of genuine connection and understanding for one another with the way that you interact with, even be it the person that serves you, right? And then at the end of your life, God is like, oh yeah, your life was just this filthy rag, right? He created me at the end of the day. I do believe that. It also feels kind of she, they, however you want to identify. Are you falling over? Really? He's going to judge his own creation as a filthy rag. I can't believe in a God like that, dude. Imagine, just genuinely imagine yourself from the perspective of having such disgust for something that you would compare it. Imagine looking at your child's horribly drawn drawing, right? And I think in the scope of God, even if I lived the most perfect life, it would still be a badly drawn drawing. But a loving parent still praises that child for the badly drawn drawing, even though it knows it is capable of significantly more. Right? That's what I believe a loving God, a loving father figure would be. Not this. Imagine, my dad, I look at this picture I drew of me and you, Dad. That is absolute trash. You don't have any proportions right. Your color usage is completely off. Right? No, goodness, dude. Oh my, I can't believe that. I missed some things. The volume is still good though. I'm happy you can still hear me. I googled and close up and these wicked awesome birds. I'm happy you got to see them. Maybe, would you be willing to share a photo actually in the Discord server as well? I would appreciate it, Space Rocker Burb. Thanks, Meld. New burb to draw. There we go. Absolutely, I would love to see it. The burbs know you're streaming live, and they're in the trees screaming at us about climate change. Probably. Dude, I would not be surprised at all. If we ever get the technology to decipher burb screams, we should definitely run this, stream through that. Our world is dying! Things are burning! Dude, please do something! We're just birds! Please, please do something! I'm trying. We're trying, dudes. We're up against a lot, but we're trying. We are trying. I literally, two of them just left after I said that. What a trip. Maybe that's what they're. Maybe that's what they mean. Thanks, Mel. Oh, there we go. We're here at one. There's so many different lifestyles, and I want to live together best. I do believe that's the way as well. Living in union with one another instead of living in separation of one another. Because we're not separate. No matter how many times I say this, no matter how you want to look at it, you are in my life and I am in your life because we're living on this planet at the same time, which is statistically very unlikely to ever happen in the first place. So the fact that we are here together right now is a blessing, and how we choose to use that understanding and what we choose to do with that, that's what makes all the difference, in my opinion. Not necessarily the theology that you follow. Mm, there is no judgment. I'm not trying to judge at all, my friend. Exactly. I'm just trying to express the way that I feel about things at the end of the day. Convenient how God has the exact same characteristics as humans. Um, I mean, I don't believe that at all, friend. Like, I believe I am, if anything, a very small, individualized expression of God. Like how a character like a Romeo slash Juliet would be from the creator that is Shakespeare, right? But just on a much grander scale. Like anything that I can imagine, for example, how if you wanted to, you can imagine for yourself like another world that have different creatures living on it, different ecosystem, different, like, let's even talk about like synthetic carbon based, actual carbon based life forms. Not carbon based life forms, silicon based life forms, because it's pretty simple for life to build structures or complex structures on silicon as well as it is carbon. So it would be possible theoretically in our human minds to configure an existence where there is these silicon-based life forms. So the fact that we can do that means that that probably exists, because the fact that we can generate this information, we can't give it like this infinite credit of like, oh, I am the pioneer. This is the first time this thing has ever been thought in existence, right? And God is like, yeah, think again, buddy. I've like done that a few, trillion times, a trillion times. Like, you sit down, dude. You sit down and you be quiet and you enjoy this experience. Mm, it seems good to our eyes, but we can never work our way to good. No amount of good deeds can bring us to God. All you need is genuine faith in Him and His Son. I get you. I feel you, friend. I don't believe it's that easy, unfortunately. you know, because it's almost like you're saying this thing that is difficult to do and requires your active presence and awareness in how you want to do that isn't going to earn you a perfect afterlife. Saying these couple of things or holding these couple of beliefs will. I don't believe that either. You see, like I can't. I don't think it's that easy, unfortunately. Because, and I used to be a Christian, so I remembered how I kind of like relaxed my consciousness into that knowing, where I would pray at night and it would feel like I would, you know, almost like wipe the slate clean. I would be like, okay, every sin I committed today, I've been forgiven. If I die tonight, I'm still going to heaven because I've accepted Jesus as my Lord and Savior. And I became, I was horribly depressed, one, as a result. And I lived, without any, I feel, personal moral implication to the things that I was doing, or how my intention in the things that I was doing was being perceived, because I had this scapegoat, this few things that I could say right now in this moment or at night before I sleep, and then I was excused of all of these things. And yeah, I mean, that's not how that's not how it works. I don't believe that. If there is a creator, it must be more likely that we could even relate to the characteristics. Yeah, it is. If again, the Tao that can be named is not the Tao. God that can be named is not God. Soul that can be named is not soul. It's beyond us. It's not supposed to make sense to us. We're, if anything, a very small part of that thing. And loved by it as well. Otherwise, we wouldn't be. Even if you look at it from a assimilation standpoint, it takes processing power for us to be here. And processing power being given means that there is a valuable weight to our existence, no matter how you slice it. We are literally, in this moment, loved. Ah, I love you, friend. I genuinely do. And when I say I love you, I say it from this perspective of what the I means to me. That is that, I think, perspective of God, that awareness of. And that awareness of is in constant love of whatever it is experiencing. It's our egoic minds that basically mediates that filter, where we tell ourselves stories about why we don't enjoy the things. Yeah. Hello. Hello. Oh, some wolves. Oh, some wolves. Oh, sorry. Right? That I consciousness loves, and it loves you, because here you are. Oh, man. I love being alive so much. God still has that love for you, but in comparison to God's holiness, our good deeds are filthy rags. It is to emphasize the holiness of God. I hear you, friend. I hear you completely. But if anything, if I'm a filthy rag, I'm still a filthy rag created by God. So stonks. Stonks to that. I'm still grateful. Mm-mm-mm-mm. True, humans are made in the image of God, so it makes sense that we have some characteristics He gave to us, but there are some things we won't ever understand or relate to. I think that's true, friend. And what I believe about that being created in the image of God, I don't think it is our bodies He's talking about at all, actually. I believe it is about our ability to create mentally. Because if God, I believe, if the Creator is real and not just matter as we understand, or as the scientific understanding of it goes, if God is real, we would probably be a mental creation, because God wouldn't need something external to itself, like a tree to create furniture. God wouldn't need to procreate, because that would mean there would be duality in him. He would need something else for him to be the fullness of God. So the only way that he would create would be mentally, as we can create as well. To have a divine imagination, meditation, dream, thought, and then as a result of that, can literally create entire realities. And that is as we are a part of, as a thought of God, as a divine expression. May we all be content here to cherish our personal beliefs, but remember that beliefs are sacred to each of us, and there is no true right way. Thank you so much for interjecting that, actually, because that is so true. I couldn't agree more, Tristan. None of the things I'm saying is absolute truth. These are just the things I've come to accept because it's what makes sense to me. And what makes sense to me is literally a faculty of such a limited mind. My brain is only that big in comparison to the fucking scale of this universe. My brain has the capacity to understand some scales of the universe, which is incredible and so on. But it's so small. I can't even for a second claim to know anything. But I'm trying to learn, right? That's why we're here. And that's why I'm still, entertaining, reading your comments, co-creating with you. I'm not running away or shying away from these ideas. I believe they're very important to discuss. Ooh, I'm getting cold. Ooh, I'm gonna get my blanket. Oh. Nico, maybe give it a rest. I'm here, friend. It's he doesn't have to give it a rest because he's still choosing to create and co-create, right? And if you feel you want to stay here and listen to the things I'm saying and co-create with me, then I'm very happy if you want to do that. I appreciate that, and that's why I'll continue to talk to you, friend. It depends on if Meltmore is cool with it. It is his stream. I'm interested in the discussion and his opinion, though. Yeah, I'm here for you, friend. I'm here for every single one of you. I know, I mean, it can be something that excludes some of you, friend, as well. It feels like because of this subject matter, it's not something you genuinely want to deal with, right? But I have learned a long time ago in my life that running away from any questioning just kind of leaves you questioning yourself. So if you're there for a question, you actually ask yourself why you believe the things you believe, and you can come up with an answer. That's how you strengthen yourself. This is why I respect what Mel does in these streams. He gives everyone an equal voice. I believe it's important, Mr. Spitey. It's important, dude, because we're all, equals. That's why I call you friend. A friend is someone that I can walk side by side with, that I would help up if they fall over, that I would wait for if they tie their shoelaces. That's what a friend is. Someone that like looks at you when you're talking in a group. You feel like you're not being heard, and like he like prompts you about what your story was about. Hey, you were saying something, dude. What were you saying? Right? That's what a friend is, and I believe that for every single one of you. You're very important. Like really, like 100%. Every single one of you are divine in nature. Mm. You are excused, but the process of sanctification and moving closer to Christ is becoming better and sinning less. We are sinful beings, but we work towards being better. So I don't believe this judgment of humanity, because that's the problem for me first and foremost with the Christian belief system as well. It's like kind of judgment based. It like creates this precipice of like, look at how horrible you are, and you can't escape this horribleness without this thing. Where I believe that love and forgiveness is the energies that is indicative of God, and judgment and fear is the separation of God. So, in that understanding for me, I can't believe in the Christian belief system because it's judgment based. And I don't believe in a God that is judgment based. That is just the conclusion at least that I've come to. Indeed, he does. Melt is always gracious, patient, and respectful. I really appreciate you, friend, so much. Like, this is something that it melts me. Like, I love you, friends, really, so much. I don't feel worthy, and it's literally because of, oh man, I'm getting emotional. The feeling of unworthiness I've been trying to pinpoint, and epigenetics is kind of where it narrowed down to, where throughout your life as a child, you're basically exposed to these thoughts, feelings, and feelings is basically the language of the body. So as you feel throughout your life, you form these patterns and these understandings and these biases almost towards what your life is and how you're supposed to be experiencing it. And it becomes literally ingrained in your physical being, where you might be thinking something, like you might be hearing someone appreciate what it is you're doing, or like just see you and praise you for that, and then you feel unworthy of that because of your programming, because of all of the things you've experienced previously in your life or as a child. That's what it truly means to me, to melt away, those biases. To relax your body. To appreciate your breath. Man, we are worthy. If we weren't, we wouldn't be here. We're not sinful. We're not horrible. We're not hated. We're not judged. We are loved. We are loved and forgiven. Indeed, he does. Oh, fuck. Black Kitab. Yeah, Black Kitab. Oh, God procreates. It's, he gets really in there deep. Yeah, I appreciate you being a little bit offbeat, dude. You're only interested in proselytizing. I mean, I think he's done. I think he's done. It was nice. Diggy Big, thank you for the help, my friend. I appreciate it. Ooh, dear friend, we are with you. I love you, friend, so much. Do you believe that people with a lot of empathy for others end up ultimately getting hurt by others? Yes and no. You know, I believe that in an egoic way, you're going to probably get hurt, but not in a spiritual way. Because if you're giving yourself to a situation lovingly because of your empathy, and someone tries to take advantage of that, you're not losing anything because you're the one giving something, right? That's the realization I've come to, at least personally. So you maybe will get hurt financially or emotionally, which is like a body response, in my opinion, because of these things. Or, man, is it? I don't know. Maybe it's I shouldn't talk about that, but much. So yeah, yeah. I believe you're not really getting hurt, not in the plane that it really matters. You brought us all together and continue to show us how important it is to learn on and help one another. I love you, friends. Genuinely, Mr. Smitey. Genuinely, like it feels now at this point as something that I've been doing my entire life. Like it's a surreal feeling. It's a very weird feeling. But I enjoy it. It feels like I'm home. It's where I'm supposed to be with you, friends. Connected in experience and soul. Some contact is something I think. That's something I think of often. Some contact. That's something I think of often. The contact that we have right now. Do you mean, Tristan? Finally catching another stream and just in time to catch Melton Christianity. My view is that Christianity is rooted with judgment and fear, and is extremely focused. The spiritual path is about exploring, opening, and experiencing the power to the inside self. Maybe, like I agree, like 100% with what you're saying, Lee. That's basically the point I was making a little bit earlier as well. It's that judgment thing, dude. It's just much, dude. It's too much. Like, oh, talking about your belief system and then using that judgment of the being as like the basis of that, it's just too much for me to accept. I don't know what I mean, but like being vulnerable ends up hurting yourself. No, no, I'm vulnerable all the time, dude. I cry a bunch of times, and if that is me being hurt, then bring it on. I maybe I'm appreciative of being able to feel that deeply about something. So yeah, don't shy away, friend. Take it all in. Melt more into it. Melt more is about to melt. I'm melting, dude. I'm melting. I'm all the way there now, dude. It's been an hour since I taken that edible, dude. So it's cooking. Like, yeah, I'm just receiving at the end of the day information, literally, because our bodies have endocannabinoid systems, and our endocannabinoid systems basically communicates information to our cells. So by taking a substance like cannabis, which gives you these cannabinoids and endogenously, like externally from you, you're just basically sending more of these informational patterns throughout your brain and your body. It really is such a trip how well we vibe with this reality. There's a really interesting burp coming close. And he's kind of watching me. He has long legs and a body like you won't be able to see him even if I did show you because he's too far away. Man, I look forward to the day. This might be a little bit of a yikes thing to say, but still, I look forward to the day to where we would be able to have like eyes that could zoom and maybe even send pictures. Would that be too much? If I could right now give you a live feed, zoomed in like maybe 25x of what I'm looking at. That might be a reality that we actually get to experience one day. That's the trip about it as well. Like, and I feel it should be something I would want to talk about so that when that is a reality, I have adequately considered it to the point where I can make a genuine, logical, and well thought through decision about that. It is scary though. What do you friends think? Would you get cybernetics, if any? Like, be it to like replace an eye or eyes when your eyesight goes in your old age or something like that, or I mean getting hearing aids, that's technically cybernetics. Where do we draw the line? I don't think humanity is going to try and draw a line. And the way that I feel about it as well, again, in this acceptance that we are living a part of something that is significantly more divine than we could ever fathom. Everything that it is we're experiencing is then of that divine nature as well, even be it the cybernetics we allow ourselves. Three, like, genuine hearts, FDA approved hearts are now being sold. Like, people can buy artificial hearts. The waiting lists are going to get shorter. A dude lives for months with a machine that like functioned as his heart externally from him while he was waiting for a heart transplant. Ooh-wee. It's also this question comes up in myself of, is there anything that is not natural? Right? Really? I mean, even these computers that we're using is technically as natural as a byproduct as THC is to a cannabis plant. This device that we're using right now to witness each other is a byproduct of our humanity, which is a byproduct of this planet that we're living on. I don't think we're separate from it, even as is. How many of you friends can go without electricity? Like, we've already moved into this interconnected state of being, and I think it's only going to increase in its interconnectivity until it reaches a point of singularity. And the thing is as well, is like there is some sort of acceleration towards that. It's very evident in our current state of existence. And I believe we get to be in like the coolest part of that spectrum before reaching ultimate singularity. And yeah, I think it's something we get to be very grateful for, to live in the time that we're living right now. My tears flow with yours. You are worthy of everything. We are. Oh, my friend, absolutely. Absolutely. I couldn't agree more, Kristen. Why do humans make it okay to kill animals? I think it was not something that humans made okay. It was something we did as a means of survival, friend. If you're living as a hominid species out there in the world and you need calories to sustain your children and yourself so you can continue living, then you eat things. And it's the same thing with the animals eating the grass or the animals eating each other, or the earth eating us when we die, or the sun eating the earth when the sun loses mass and expands. There's it's difficult to say, friend. I don't think we should be in judgment of it. Love and forgive, dude. Just love and forgive. As someone with hyper crazy high empathy, I found that there are ways to build up a safe hammock around your mind and heart to make just as much empathy for yourself as the ones you are empathizing with. If I can hold someone's pain for a bit or lessen it, it is always worth it. Always. I do agree completely with what you're saying, Kristen. I don't, however, have a, a hammock or a safety net or yeah around my mind. I feel, whew, I I kind of let things come as they will, and I'll be completely present for them, but I won't let myself lost. Right? I'll get super emotional. I'll feel like not all there is to feel, obviously, but I'll feel what I'm supposed to feel, and then I'll realize that I still am choosing what it is I want to create, and your inner state of being is something you definitely have power over, and I believe breath, just becoming super aware of your breath when you're in any state of panic or any state of like concern or discombobulation, just taking a second to just realize your breath. Hmm. Tommy, it's nice to have you here, friend. I hope you had a great day. I did, friend. How about you? Your day is about just starting. How's your blackberries been, man? Like, I haven't get. I forgot. Oh, you've probably eaten most of them at this point. How were they? Homegrown berries, right from the soil that you live on. You get food, dude. And hey, executioner, it's nice to have you here. Yale dropouts here again. Or me eating you when I live by the other side. Ooh, scary Yale. Yeah, it's very naive of you to assume that you were going to get. I shouldn't go too deep with this joke. You might take me seriously. I was gonna say, we'll see who ends up eating who. Try and eat me. Get eat, dude. Get bit. My first time to meet you, and I'm very thankful. I'm very thankful for you being here with us, friend. Thank you for joining us. Man, now I feel shy almost. Like, what am I supposed to say to you, new friend? Just thank you for joining us. Here, we share in a union of understanding that we get to communicate about anything, whatever it is you want to say. Be it sad, be it exciting, be it completely normal. We're here for it. We'll share that experience with you. When I deflate you and you are reincarnated as a darker version of yourself, that's that's interesting. I'm curious. I'm kind of like imagining a darker version of myself, kind of as like this almost ink blue, you know, ink blue, still white teeth, completely blacked out eyes, uh, like black hair as well, probably like completely black hair, or maybe purple hair. Yeah, purple hair works better in my mind. Like now, I'm kind of leaning towards a light-ish purple. Looks kind of whimsical. This dark version of myself. I would like to sit down and have a conversation with him. Ask him his perspective. Man, what would he have to say? He's a bit spicy. How do you protect yourself from those who take advantage of empathetic, loving souls? I'll let you know if I figure it out, friend. Advantaged. Like I'll let you know, dude, because I've I've been taken advantage of a lot of my life as well. Like very recently, very financially been taken advantage of. Like about last year, this time, I was owed and believed that I will receive about $20,000 because I wasn't paid by the school that I was working for because of the pandemic. They were like, "Oh yeah, you know, as soon as the schools open up again after COVID, we'll like pay you all of the money." And then schools opened, and they made me work for another 45 days, and they didn't pay me. Yeah, I know, it's hectic. But at the end of the day, I still brought love and light into that experience. You know, even though I was being taken advantage of, I used that being taken advantage of as an opportunity to be the expression of love in the world. Be it for my coworkers, be it for the children that I was teaching, be it just to keep my job's business afloat, because that's basically what I was doing. I was the only teacher they had, and they had a lot of students, and I was like keeping things together basically for them as they was trying to figure things out, which is hectic. I understand that as well, but it's not acceptable at the end of the day. But I still brought myself in a loving way to that situation, and that can't be taken away from me. So I haven't lost anything. That's the point I'm trying to make. So yeah, don't worry about protecting yourself. It's a hectic thing to say, I know, but if I figure out how to protect myself, I think it's just maybe being more on guard and maybe firm, a little bit more firm, loving but firm. I know that's a difficult balance to find. I'm trying to find it as well. I'm very thankful for how calm you are. I'm very thankful for you being thankful for me being calm. Thank you for appreciating this vibe with me. That's, yeah, that's what it's about. Man, this is fun. I really appreciate sharing this space with you. Ooh, Cable, dude. I haven't seen you in a while, dude. It's been a while, man. How have you been? The blackberries are great. Making some moonshine to soak a few in today. You are making moonshine to soak your own blueberries in, or blackberries in. Mm. What moonshine are you making? What are you making it of? We have something that's almost like moonshine in South Africa that is called. What is it called again? Mampur. There we go. That's the word. And yeah, you can make it like from peaches or oranges, and depending on what plant you make it of or fruit you make it of, you get different like flavonoids in it, and it changes the flavor profile. It's still very strong though, like moonshine is as well. I don't even know what I said, bro. Don't take it seriously. I'm not taking it seriously. I'm just co-creating with you, dude. It's funny to me. Hey, Belt, how are you? Damn, that sucks. It's okay, dude. Wow, they took advantage of you. Yeah, it's okay. It's like, don't worry about it. I've forgotten about it. That's nice, man. Good for you. It didn't take away your authenticity. That is yours, exactly. That's what you get to keep. You don't get to always affect the outside world. You don't always get to choose what happens to yourself or in the outside world, but you do get to choose how you're going to behave and how you're going to be perceiving and feeling about that outside happening. And yeah, I think that is the only way. Do your students know you stream on Reddit? No, they don't. Damn. They won't be able to watch it either, unfortunately. Reddit isn't legal in China. And I think we like to explore maybe a little bit of questionable subject matter and do questionable things, with the smoking of joints and stuff, because a lot of them are like 6 years to like 12 years old. So yeah, maybe when they turn 18, I'll send them all links. I hope you understand English by now. Here is what I've been up to for the last, well, between 6 and 13 years. Have a look, have fun. Da-dum dum. I'm thankful. I think I've already done. No, it cannot. I'm thankful for you being thankful of me being thankful for you being calm. Yes, it has been a while. I've been spending some time with my girlfriend. Oh, look at you, Kaval. 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 I'm happy for you, friend. Like, I'm curious about the conversations you've been having with her. Like, interestingly enough, the one thing that I took away from the stuff that you've talked about your girlfriend is the fact that you can have genuine conversations with her, and you can explore some sensitive subject matter, if you will, or heart matters, the real stuff, if you will, that goes for the gut. So have you been going for the gut in any way, dude? I'm curious. I've been no matter how dark life gets in your future, don't ever give up. The world needs more people like you. The world needs more people like you as well, friend. Like that's what you just did is exactly what you think I'm doing. I'm just your reflection. Anything that I can do, you're capable of doing as well, my friend. But you don't have to be me. You get to be you. I love a lovely stream, Mel. Enjoy your night. Very grateful for each person here in the stream. May you all find peace in your hearts and melty feelings about whatever brings you joy. Thank you so much, Kristen. Have a blessed day, friend. I hope you get to spend it with someone you love. I do hope you do. I don't know if that's what you meant with being disappointed, but I do hope you do. She is about to leave the country for her master's. Probably isn't gonna come back. Definitely isn't gonna come back. So I'm enjoying the time I spend with her. Exactly. You choose what you share, what you shine. Man, that's hectic, Cable. I'm sorry, my friend. Making it out of corn using an old recipe. Okay, that's cool. Thank you, Tommy. Mm. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm genuinely sorry, Cable. How long have you been together, if you don't mind me asking? And where is she moving? I'm also curious for her masters. How far away is it? Is there any way for you to follow her? Are you going to continue the relationship long distance? Are you ending the relationship when she leaves? Yeah, I'm curious if you're willing to share. You have really nice teeth. Thank you. They grew this way out of my face. Man, I don't like teeth. As you friends know, teeth. I love you, my teeth. I love you. Don't don't take it personally. I just don't like the idea of you because logically it doesn't sit well with me. You're good to share the space with you all of these beautiful people. Life is coming at me hard these days, but I have a strong foundation to get through it. Glad you're doing well, Estian. Glad you're doing, or at least still standing strongly. I appreciate you sharing this time with us, friend. Like, as you say, you have a strong foundation. You have us in the Discord as well, friend. Like, do feel free to reach out to any one of us if you need help. You don't have to suffer alone. We'll suffer with you, a little bit. Suffering alone means we can feel for each other, cry for each other, feel for each other in a way that we can like send energy as well. I believe. Mm. Mush, 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 mush. Let's have a really yes, Jones. Isn't that nice? There you go. Namaste. Namaste to you as well, my friend. Thank you for joining us. Oh, that's the most beautiful thing about our relationship. Conversation is what drew us to each other. Big fan, bro. I'm a big fan of yours as well, then, friend. Thank you for appreciating the space with me. That's all we've got going this while. Reflection, yes. Hey, Avery. It's nice to see you as well. I'm sorry too, but I'm happier. She deserves the opportunity. She earned it. She's going to Amsterdam. We've been together 2 years. We're not going to continue. Man, that's unfortunate. At least you got to spend those 2 years with each other, right? You got to be in a loving relationship with one another. You got to share all of those beautiful conversations. And that can't be taken away from you. And the separation of you isn't really a separation at all, but a journey into a new experience, if you will, as well. But Gabriel, you know anything that I can tell you, dude. Was today super polite? Today was super polite. Actually, yeah, for some of it wasn't that polite, and then for some of it was kind of polite. Thank you, friend, for wishing me a polite day. Men and women will always let you down. Jesus Christ will never. Yeah, because men and women are actual things in this reality, and Jesus Christ is a concept that you hold in your mind. So a concept that you hold in your mind can't. let you down because it's a concept that you hold in your mind. What have you against teeth, bro? I refuse this, dude. The thought of them, the fact that they're so brittle and they like kind of wear and they get worse and worse as you age, and you can like have things drilled into your skull to like replace them, or you can have things attached to wires to replace them. And I'm gonna have to do that at some points in my life, and me knowing that and being grateful for the teeth I have now, but wishing that that wasn't a part of the whole having teeth thing. That's the part about it I don't like, dude. Not the teeth, the actual teeth, just that part about it. I refuse this. Till now, I was fine with all of this universe shit, but teeth, no, no, yeah, dude. Teeth is it's a little bit strange. Thought it was a dirty dog. She is dirty. She is kind of dirty, but look at her. Which one? Let's look at her. How can you not? How can you not love that? Jesus, it's a creation of the imagination. Yeah, that especially that representation they hold. Especially, yeah. You got a haircut, like your cut G. Uh, Not really. I have it tied in a bun. But thank you, friend. I appreciate you appreciating it, even if it looks cut. Kev, you seem at peace with the situation. It doesn't sound like an ending by parting, but it didn't end in destruction, so it built that for yourself. Absolutely. Your puppy is so cute. She is adorable. Like the little ear as well. It's like it's too good to be true. It's iconic. How are we this lucky, huh? To get to experience life with one another, with Kiki, with this blanket that is making me so very comfortable, with this complete darkness and this bright light in my face. It's so blissful. Advantaged, exactly. We're both mature enough to realize this, but it's still sad. I like that. Sadness shows me that the relationship meant a lot. Absolutely. Praise Floss. Praise Floss indeed. After you die, we're gonna praise your choppers, aka teeth. Good night. Have good dreams. Thank you. Reasonable detail. Love and light to you, friend. Have a good one. I Milk said the exact same thing as always. Reflection, pretty much, dude. Pretty much. I want you to know that when you first complained about having teeth, the birds laughed at you. They know, they know, dude. They don't have to deal with teeth. They just get to have these beak things, and they like basically just put seeds in mouth and swallow. Like that's their eating. They don't have to chew and stuff, and they function quite well. And they're just laughing at me, dude. Like, look at this monkey chewing his food. Has to make it mash for his delicate digestive system. Oh, has to mix his food with mucus to taste it. Look at this loser. Laughing at me. How dare you? Freaking birds. Get shark teeth. No, goodness. Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. Cute pup. She is. And now she gets to have a view as well. That's another dog. She's like watching the other dog casually walking up. Hugs and love to you as well, my friend. Thank you. Catch my painting stream before bed, friend. I will. I will definitely, Gob. Like I'll check on the Discord if you post the notification, friend, or the link. What microphone are you using? I can literally hear bugs. I'm literally using the microphone that is on my cell phone. Stonks, dude. Like we live in an age where we have pretty decent audio quality. And it's pretty quiet tonight. I'm very, very grateful for that. But yes, regarding my girlfriend, I'm happy for her. I know she's gonna grow so much. Do I want to read your curse words as well? No, no, no. She's only gonna know herself so much. I can't wait to see her realized, actualized version. I felt how you would say that sentence, Keval, and I like read it in your voice in my head. And I had the word that you said in my head at least, if that counts for something, like very passionately. So And I say it sometimes, but I feel like since I have a baby on me, like I shouldn't do it to her. Like sweet little ears, so close at least. Mm-mm-mm. I've been watching a fledgling cow in my yard this week, and I'm in love. Crow in my yard, fledgling crow in my yard. That's so beautiful. That crow might fall in love with you as well, friend. Be careful. I don't take how cute you and your dog look right now. I can't take. Thank you, friend. I appreciate you being here right now. I mean, like at the end of the day, this is a divine creation, co-creation if anything. Like her being so chill with the current position she's in, and like I've basically made like a hammock for her out of blankets, and now I'm trying to move my hand um, because I'm thirsty. Mm, there we go. Don't cry because it's over. Smile because it happened. Dr. Seuss is the OG. Learning to fly.mp3. I think I'm missing the reference, friend. The fledging. Oh, okay. Oh, the you falling in love with the crow in your yard. Yeah, pretty much, man. That's pretty cool, actually. Seeing new life basically take flight, literally. Mm-mm-mm. Where are you? I am living in South Africa, friend. She's passing out. Oh yeah, she's like liquid at this point. Like ugh. That can't be comfortable. I want to kind of lift her head up. Is that better? Yeah, yeah. That looks more comfortable to me at least, right? Than hanging with your neck down like that. Dog is living there. Her like this is definitely a co-living of life in this moment right now, and it's blissful. Are you the guy who's always dancing? I'm occasionally dancing. I'm always doing this more than I am always dancing, friend. But yeah, thank you for joining us. Comfortable as hell. Mucho makes the taste so much mucus makes it taste so much better though. Yeah, it's like you can't taste food if you don't have like mucus over it. Unfortunately, your mucus literally dissolves the chemicals and makes them receptor ready for your tongue to be able to taste them. Stonks. I mean, that's how you taste food. That's crazy. The birds and their beak, dude. Like Cable, you missed. We're talking shit about the birds now because we had like probably a solid 20 minutes of stream where the birds were just screaming at the top of their lungs right above me. They were just ceaseless. They were just yeah, dude. You're not getting a word in, and it was hilarious. I loved it. But I think maybe we've come to the end of the stream. I'll wait a bit just so that the co-create. There we go. You see the message that you sent. It does sounds nasty, but it's true. It's not nasty though. Like nothing that is natural is disgusting. Because if it wasn't in the way that it is, we wouldn't be in the way that we are. And like this is something that's a really cool concept as well. If you just think about our senses, how many senses we have. Ooh, look at this big bug that came and sat on me. Is that a type of cockroach? I think it might be. It looks like it's from the cockroach genome, like, or family, something. Like he has the same like kind of abdomen and wing structure. Dum dum dum. The passion is the main thing, my friend. I'm glad you felt the passion. Oh, absolutely. Your pup knows there is a big bug in there. Is there a bug there? In here as well? Another one? What do you see? Huh? You wanna go down there? Hmm. There might be bugs under me. What time is it in SA? It is 11:08 a.m. in Jamaica. having a tropical storm right now. Thank you for joining us from Jamaica, friend. That is crazy. I think you are our first Jamaican friend. A tropical storm, huh? Is that something that concerns you? Like, usually when we have storms here in South Africa, you worry about like the internet dropping or, some trees getting blown over. Do you have any of that in Jamaica as well? Thank you for joining us. I'm on my way out now. Have a good night, a good day where you may be, folks. Bye for now. Thank you, Avery. I appreciate you sharing this space with us. And I appreciate all of you sharing this space with us today, friends. Thank you so much for being here with us again. I look forward. You want to move? No? Oh, I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow, everyone. Goodbye.